Education is so important, whether it comes to your everyday life, your regular day job, working around the house, whatever it is. Education can really help you take that leap forward and improve yourself. And when it comes to blockchain, that is no exception. Education in the blockchain space is crucial when it comes to wallet safety, DeFi, NFTs, whatever it is. The more you know, the better position you are to take advantage of all these opportunities, especially in the blockchain space. There's various platforms out there such as The Working Dead, Mark from Self-Driven, Octo is doing some really amazing thing around the education space. Even our own Learn-to-Earn platform on Learn Cardano is just about to launch, all ready for this upcoming bull run where I know this education is needed. But in this interview, I have Nate from NFDevils, and they have a really cool approach where they can actually engage with the students. They have that conduit and way to get this type of content in front of the students and get them educated at an early stage to understand blockchain technology, what it is, and how it can change potential lives in the future when implemented properly. Not just the whole crypto trading and monkey pick side of things, but also the real world applications and the things that can really make a difference in the world. And Nate is going to talk through the entire project, how they're going through this, and what they're after in regards to potential future catalyst funding or NFT funding to help deliver this product. I love their approach. It's really exciting to see. So hopefully you guys can watch this one to the end, help support the project. If you really like this type of content, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click that notification bell. Everything on this channel is around Cardano, and I absolutely love having you guys here. Let's get into this interview. All right. Now, it's always good to have another fellow Australian join me on the podcast to talk about some of the really cool things that us Aussies down under are building. And Nate's coming in to talk about the Devils project, NFDevils, and everything that they're doing around the ecosystem, around education and onboarding users and everything else around it. I love onboarding users and the educational side of things, hence my YouTube channel. But Nate, you've got some really cool things going on here. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. Been looking forward to this for quite a while. I've been watching your channel for a long time, and very excited to let more people know about what we're doing, because I think education with this bull run kicking off is going to be such a massive thing to ensure that people have a good experience when they're here and that they stay. Because ultimately that's what we want. We're trying to get mass adoption and things like that. But if people come in, have a bad time, they're not going to stick around. So yeah, very excited to tell people how we plan to help with that problem.
So fingers crossed it is a big bull run. The signs are looking good so far, but we'll see how things play out in early 2024. But Nate, could you talk through what exactly you're up to in the ecosystem?
I'm the founder of the Non-Fungible Devils NFT project. What we're building is all around education and onboarding. So my community knows, and everyone that I talk to knows, I'm a school teacher. I've been doing that since nearly 10 years. And yes, I've worked in math, science, phys ed, health, and really passionate about education and helping people to just become a better version of themselves. And that's what I want to bring to the Web3 and the NFT space. I want to make sure that people can come in, have the best experience possible, really level up their knowledge and have a good time while they're here, keep them around, and continue to build. So yeah, that's what we've been focusing on, got the community behind us, and just keep pushing from here.
So what's your approach then? How is this different to some of the other Web3 onboarding experiences people might be used to? Like if you start with an exchange, for example, you might hit Binance Academy or any of these other starting points that are quite common. What's different with what you're providing for the community?
Yeah, so I'm going to be taking this. It's going to try and cater for as wide of an audience as possible, but I'm planning to take this actually to the schools, to the coal mine, I guess. Coal mine. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I want to be able to. Every time that crypto and NFTs and anything like that becomes a big thing in the news, my students are asking me about it. They want to know what it is, how can they get involved, why people are paying money for something that someone's drawn on paint. And what this whole experience is all about. Like, how can they set themselves up to have a bright future? because the schools I work at, it's not the most affluent populations all the time. And particularly where I am now, if I can give these kids a start where they can start to grow a bit of a crypto bag and get their understanding, maybe if they get a bit of pocket money, if they're lucky enough or something like that, putting it into the right places could really help set them up. So that's where I want to focus. Getting this into schools, getting the students of all ages to start learning about it. And I've got a few different tricks up my sleeve to help make that happen. And parts of that comes from having 10 years experience in the profession, having an incredibly broad network. And that's talking about, I've worked, I think, for 5 different schools that I've been on contract for, as well as catching up with teachers across the nation for different professional development. And so I feel like I've got the network to make this happen. I've got the contacts that are interested to help make this happen. And I think a lot of these other places, they're waiting for people to sort of take a leap first, whereas we can get them before they take that leap and help to start that education experience and make sure they're ready when they get here.
It's really, I think, really important to start educating young students about this technology and everything around it. There's a few projects that are doing this, and I love the approach because it really empowers the young generation to think out of the confines that we're in at the moment, or where most people are forced to, such as the common banks that we have, fractional lending, and how the monetary system works at the moment. And opening their eyes at such a young age, with an unclouded mind, they can come up with a lot more creative and unique solutions that even us, the devotees of crypto, can't come up with yet. So it's a commendable job that you do. Very, very hard job. But getting the young ones in early, I think, is really, really important. And I like what you're trying to do there. And now you've got a bit of a learn to earn mechanism and platform that you guys are trying to roll out. Like I went through a little bit of your light paper and also Catalyst proposal, which I'd like to talk about as well a little bit later. But if you can go through the platform that you actually built and the mechanisms around it, so we can understand what your goals are with that.
Yeah, for sure. So across the pandemic period, we had to figure out how to go from educating in a classroom where we're seeing students face to face every day to try and find a way of educating them from home, from afar, where we have no idea if there's someone giving them the motivation they need to stay online and to learn. So we had to find different ways of doing that and different platforms. I come across one that I really enjoyed, had great curriculum, really great user interface, really easy and friendly for the students to be able to follow on and find, like, they might complete one part of the learning, it could recommend other bits, but it also had an experience-based system and leaderboards. So the students could go through, complete their tasks, it would accumulate them points and put them in a leaderboard. And that's not only for their classroom, that could expand out to be across the school, across other people in that topic. And it went worldwide and had all sorts of different competitions. So this is how we're going to theme our Learn to Earn and have different leaderboard systems and people accumulating experience points. And they'll be able to use those experience points if they're obviously willing to sacrifice them from the leaderboard to engage with the shop. So whether or not they have to sacrifice them from the leaderboard, that's a whole other thing. That's the point system. I'm getting them mixed up. But they'll be able to use their experience points to exchange for fungible and non-fungible tokens. So it's a bit of a motivation. And we've also got a lot of plans around how we'll be able to show their completion of different courses with NFTs and things like that. So they'll start to develop, they'll have a bit of a bag that they're starting to grow from the NFT and the fungible assets. But they'll also have blockchain evidence to say that they've completed these courses, which could also set them up for future job opportunities within the Web3 space. They might come to a project, whether they're fungible or non-fungible, and say, hey, I've completed XYZ course, here's my certificate to show that I've done it. And they can show that to a project founder. And so they've actually built up a bit of a resume to go with that as well.
Yeah, I was just thinking about accreditation, and some of these courses would be hard to get accreditation and recognized globally by institutions or whatever. But if you're going for a Web3 job, them just looking at the course and understanding what they've gone through to earn that NFT just makes sense for a lot of them. So if they are applying for a job in the Web3 space, it just makes sense. So I love the approach. I love having the NFTs and rewarding the users with crypto and whatnot through their platform, and the gamification aspects around it with the leaderboards and the points and earning system. Really good way of incentivizing the kids to go through and learn through the platform.
Yeah, anything that they can do where they're like versing each other and can try and beat someone, they always just have that little bit of extra like motivation. And whether it's algebra or if it's learning about DeFi, I'm sure if they have an opportunity to one up their classmate or even just someone on the other side of the world to get that point ahead on the leaderboard to try and unlock that NFT. And we've got all sorts of partner projects that are going to help contribute to the assets that will be in that reward shop as well. So there'll be some pretty exciting stuff for them to try to get their hands on.
Yeah, I did want to get into the trifecta of partnerships that you got going on. We'll touch that in 1 second. But before we do, what type of content is going to be in the platform? I know you said it's going to be quite broad, but like, has any of it been created yet? Have you started onboarding people? And what should students expect when they come to the platform? And what should they see? And what's the outcome of it?
Yeah, so I unfortunately haven't had the opportunity to start onboarding people through the platform yet because it's still under development. And we do have our partners that we reference in the Catalyst proposal, Castle Digital, who are actually building that platform out for us. They've built a lot of things for a lot of companies that you'd know in Australia, like AGL, Bunnings, just to name a few. So yeah, we've got like a real world team building this out. So yeah, I've started to build out the modules. So I'm doing that just on my computer in the meantime. So as far as the modules, it's more just almost like a PowerPoint with question banks and stuff like that in it, just for the time being. So I've started to get everything ready. So once Castle Digital has finished building out the platform, I'm ready to start uploading everything in there. So the content is going to be broad because it's a broad space that we're in, but it's going to be all rigged up with different tagging systems. So if you want to today learn about DeFi, you can click the DeFi tag and start following on through that branch. If you want to learn about NFTs, you can. If you want to learn about fungibles, you can. If you want to go into particular native assets specific to Cardano, you can do that. And that'll all be through that tagging system. And there'll also be scaling. So if you want to hit the beginner courses, intermediate, hard, whichever it might be. But I want this platform, there's going to be some stuff on there for, obviously onboarding is going to be the free content. So people want to come, what is an NFT? You can learn about that. What is Bitcoin? You can learn about that, or Cardano, or whatever it might be. It's the stuff that you really want to sink your teeth into and start to get a little bit of a deeper knowledge of the space that is going to be behind the paywall and the token gating. So that is part of what our project offers. If you're holding our NFT assets, you'll get access to the platform. And obviously that way you can get your kids access if you're at home or whatever it might be. But yeah, we're going as broad as we can. And through my time in the space, I've been the founder of the NFDevils for almost 2 years now. And across that time, I've built a range of friendships, relationships, partnerships, collaborations, whatever it might be, with people that are very knowledgeable in the space. So I don't pretend to sit here and be the absolute guru that knows every single thing. I believe you learn from many masters, and that's the approach that I'll be applying to help ensure that these courses are built out as good as possible.
Yeah, I was about to say, are you writing this all yourself, or are you getting other people to write it?
Yeah, so I'm going to have enough built out myself that we've got a starting base, and I'm taking requests from the community as well. If someone says they want to learn about this, then I'm like putting time aside. If I need to learning about it myself, and putting it into a content as if I would for a student at school. So I've got such a vast experience with that and presenting materials in like fun, engaging ways for the kids, whether it's in maths, science, phys ed, health. Like it's different challenges that I've had to face across my journey in my real world career. That I'm just prepared to do it. You know what I mean? So I've got stuff from my knowledge for
you, really.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just I'm just doing my IRL, but in Web3. Yeah. So yeah, I'm creating as much as I can from my base of knowledge and doing bits of research where I need to beef it up a little bit. And then if someone comes to me with a specific thing, that I go, loss prevention and retention, I know that that's a big thing for ESCO. I'll hit up ESCO and he can come on and help me out with that. Or I've got the whole Cardano crew, so shout out to those guys. Sorry, S20, I'm missing your space right now. But there's guys in there that have such intricate knowledge of different parts of the space that you'd be foolish not to use them. Use them, work with them. But you know what I mean? So you've got people from all walks of life with all levels of experience. Some people have been here for 10, 12 years in crypto. Some people have been here for 6 months, but they bring a wealth of knowledge from security or design or gaming or whatever it might be. I plan to work with these people and obviously reward anyone that helps to work with me to make this as expansive and captivating of a platform as possible.
Okay, so how does the I read this on your documentation. I like the title, Trifecta Interactive Entertainment Hub. How does that come into it? Because I've seen the mention of some other really cool projects in there as well. How does that get involved with the project?
Yeah, awesome. So we've got a really strong alliance that we call the Trifecta, and that is with the Elysium Titans and the Secret Bulls Society. So I don't like to dwell on the past too much, but I'll give you the negative a little bit that we started from. So the Non-Fungible Devils was originally a rug pool project. Myself and Derek, who's on the team now, we're both strong members of that community prior to the rug. And we worked together throughout all of the unfortunate events, just to sum it up briefly, to get control of the project, get the keys, get the royalty wallet changed, take over, pick up at an 8.8 a floor price and drive it for the massive journey we've been on for the past 2 years. One person that really helped to make that journey possible and to advise me along the way is Randall, the founder of the Elysium Titans. And he's just been my, what's a better word, the advisor. He's been one of those masters that has been in the space for such a long time. The amount of, he's probably lost more money in the space than a lot of people have even seen in their life. I'll let him tell you the story about the 1,000+ Ethereum that he had on a computer at his mum's house that she threw in the bin when he moved out.
Oh, no.
So he's been around for quite a while, and he's been able to help me to navigate this space and go from being a community member to a moderator, community manager, and then into the founder role. And then just helping me to negotiate the different challenges along the way, from community building to managing the all sorts of walks, like the minting process for the She-Devils when we got to that. It's been a massive help. Secret Bull Society had a similar fate. They were a rug pool project that has been picked up and resurrected. So the Devils and the Bulls, coming from that with Randall as an advisor, we're like, well, let's call ourselves the Trifecta. And we've just been on this massive journey together. The Trifecta Interactive platform that you mentioned. So the Titans, they're all about gaming. And they were initially coming into the space to build out a game kind of similar to Brawl Stars, which is a work in progress. And then since the Bulls took over, they've put a big focus on streaming. And those guys love their UFC and their mixed martial arts. So they're bringing that aspect to it. Yeah, so between the three projects, we've got the education, we've got the gaming, we've got the streaming, and we just thought those things marry together to become the Trifecta Interactive Hub. And it can be the one-stop shop for people to get just about everything that they want to get from the space.
Majorly cool. All right. I didn't realize the Bulls were into MMA and whatnot. So I'm a big boxer myself. I don't have my gear up on the wall drying at the moment, but it's I'm normally in the gym. I get spending hours boxing. So I got to get into that project. I've got to find out a little bit more about it. But
yeah, you have to come chat with EV. He's a jiu-jitsu ninja. So
right. Okay. Yeah. I will check out a space and have a chat to the guys. But what you're doing with these other projects and having Randall there as well with the wealth of experience is absolutely fantastic, because there's so many people out there with skills, experiences that can help guide and deliver some really good content through your platform. So excited to see what comes out of that and where you guys will take it. But we kind of touched on it a little bit before, your Catalyst proposal and what you guys are building with Castle Digital, the whole learning platform. Can you talk through a little bit about the platform that you're building, your Catalyst proposal, and what the outcome of that will be?
Yeah, awesome. So we were hoping, like I'm sure just about every project comes into the NFT space, that we'd sell out in 5 minutes and we'd have all the funds we need to build.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the reality. We had all sorts of fun. Again, I'm not going to dwell on the past, but a lot of people know I'm not a big fan of the flavor peppermint, to say the least.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, so we've had all sorts of hurdles, but we've got to where we are today. We're sitting at 42% minted out, and we're like, okay, how can we get the rest of the funds that we need to get this platform built out and really get this journey underway? So that's where we're like, okay, Project Catalyst is coming up. They've got a section for education, and if we manage to secure some Catalyst funding, we'll be able to get this whole platform up and running in the next sort of 6 to 9 months. We'll have it into schools and students of all ages starting to engage and learn. And if the market keeps going the way they're going, people are going to be screaming for it. So I want to be able to get this thing built out as quickly as we can.
All right, brilliant. I will put links to it in the show notes so people can check out the proposal and get a better understanding of what you guys are building, how much funding, etc., that you're asking for. What was the funding number? It's like 130,000.
Yeah, 140,000 we're asking for, and that's going to put us into the position that we're like good to go. Everything from that point can happen. We can have this platform built out. We can be, just starting to achieve the dream that we've set out to achieve, which is getting people into the space, ensuring they're having that good time when they're here and keeping them around. But also starting, like we said, with the learn to earn, starting to develop their bag and get themselves into a pretty good situation to be starting in.
All right, brilliant. Like I said, I'll put all the links and everything in the show notes down below so people can find out a little bit more about the project and support you guys as well. I'm sure you could do with a few more mints. If the Catalyst funding doesn't go through, the NFT minting is the direction to go to help fund the project and hopefully get this platform all online and running.
Yeah, and we're quite fortunate with our relationship with Castle Digital that we've got systems in place that will make sure we get this platform out there. But we want it to be like a perfect situation for when someone arrives to the platform. We want it to have the good UI. We want it to have the good UX. We want it to be smooth. We want it to be beautiful, basically. So getting this project minted out, that will be phenomenal. Getting the Catalyst funding will be phenomenal. If we get both done, we can start moving on to the next part of our journey that's after the education platform, but still ties in with it. That I'm not talking about too much just yet because we want to tick off the first box before we move on to the second one, but it's still in the space of education. But it's starting to look at some more just the next level of where we can take this, the platform, and like you said, with different certifications and type of things like that. So that's a little sneak peek.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much.
So save it for the follow-up interview. You don't need to tell me all of it now. Any final words before we log off and end this session?
Just anyone that wants to ask more, come into the Discord. Feel free to ask as many questions as you can. You'll find me in Twitter Spaces most days. My Twitter is Nate_NFD, or just on the NFDevils Twitter. I'll be on Cardano most Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you can catch us in there talking. And I encourage people, come up, ask me, how are we going to achieve this? How are we going to do it? Ask me some difficult questions because sometimes I can't think of everything when I'm trying to lay in this sort of situation. But hit me with the hard questions. Come and say, why can you do it? And I'll tell you exactly why I can do it, why I've got the passion, the motivation, why the journey we've been on for the last 2 years has set us up. We've got the fire in our belly that we've been resurrecting a project through the bear. And now we're here. We're starting, the markets are starting to look a bit better. I'm wearing green for that big green God candle that we had. I'm just super excited. I know we're going to make this happen. We've got the right partnerships in the space. If you haven't heard about us, you're going to be hearing a lot about us very soon. Come on down, ask me the questions, get involved, let's have some fun.
Thank you again, Nate, for joining on this episode, and looking forward to seeing the platform launch and all the content get out there to onboard all these students and all these other people that are just coming into the market.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks heaps for having me.
Awesome. Chat soon. As always, all the show notes and references on our website at learncardano.io. You can find out everything you need to know about NFDevils, support Nate and the team there in building this fantastic education platform and everything else around it. Having that ability to teach these kids at such a young age in regards to everything around the blockchain space is so crucial, and I'd love to see this type of work implemented in the space. Once again, if you enjoyed this content, thumbs up, click subscribe, click the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, AstroBoySoup. You'll find a lot of Cardano related content there as well. And that's it for me. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.